Good looking now, G.
Everybody have to tell you that here with you beautiful, beautiful. Everybody have to tell you that God made you beautiful, beautiful.
Hey there, excuse me, miss. No disrespect, you're very precious.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Hype. Give it up for our DJ, DJ 007.
I love my job.
You can check him out on Instagram at Mr. I Love My Job. Today, we're talking about men's perspective on cheating. It's where women have the opportunity to hear what men really think about us and about relationships in general. Today, in part 2 of our series, men will focus on talking about how they feel about cheating. Ladies, again, we are practicing our listening skills so that we can hear and understand what men have to say about this controversial topic. Today, we have a panel of 12 men from different backgrounds, ages, and relationship status who have agreed to answer our questions and how they view on cheating. Get ready for an eye-opening discussion. If you have any questions on our panel, you can post them on Facebook, on our Facebook page at Philly Hype TV Show and on Twitter at The Hype TV Show. Be sure to hashtag Hype Men on Cheating. Stay tuned, we'll get hype on cheating right after this.
Yes, I am.
Give it to him hard.
No, now.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why you stab me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how.
Oh, you got...
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
Hey, this is Jennifer Hudson, and you're watching The Hype.
TV for, by, and about young women.
Cheating? Oh man. Well, technically, from a spiritual standpoint, adultery can stand for cheating. If you're married to someone, even looking at somebody, thinking of something other than the person you're supposed to be with, is technically considered cheating. And non-married standpoint, anything besides your female, your woman, that's considered cheating. I mean, you can have a friend, but if your friend is not friends with your female friend, as in your girlfriend, your fiance, that's considered cheating. And anyway, I mean, if someone else got a friend and they don't know about it, then that's considered cheating. And texting, talking, chatting, sending pictures, anything could be in a form of cheating.
Physically, pretty much, if a guy goes out and kisses another girl, but if someone goes out and physically pursues someone else, and if it's emotionally talking to someone to get emotional fulfillment from someone that's not the person they're committed to.
Cheating is a perspective. I feel like it's only based on what you're doing in your life. You could cheat on somebody if you're really connected to them, but I don't think you can really cheat on somebody if it's not serious.
Cheating, when you feel guilty about decisions you make. I emphasize on guilty because you can do something that can be considered cheating, but I feel like if you don't feel guilty about it, it's not cheating.
Cheating is going against your, vows of a relationship. No, I wouldn't say vows, like a marital vow, but when you step into a relationship, you have certain expectations, and when you go against that, I feel like that's cheating.
Cheating is when there's a consensual, like long-term or not long-term relationship where people don't assume you're going to be with other people, and then you have sex with somebody else when you're not supposed to do that, according to the other person you are in a relationship with.
Welcome back. So we just heard what some of you had to say about our topic today. Now I'd like to welcome my co-host Vanessa and our special guest host, nutritional expert Deja Naba of Happy Body, Healthy Choices, to the conversation. We also have a special guest host, Donovan West, in the audience today. Welcome, everybody.
Thanks.
Yes. So we are talking about cheating. It's a very hot button topic, as you can see from our word on the street. So my question to our men in the audience, what is cheating? What is it?
Cheating. What is cheating?
What is cheating for you? For men, what is cheating?
For men. So, you know, there are a lot of different perspectives here, right?
Yes.
So I don't want anyone to sit here and say, well, I heard from that one guy that this is what cheating is, okay?
Yes.
So that's just a little disclosure that as they express themselves, they don't represent a particular section of the world or a particular culture. So guys, go ahead and fire away.
Thank you. In my opinion, cheating is doing something that you would not do in front of your significant other. Okay. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
Good. Anyone else?
Actually, you took the words right out of my mouth. But for me, cheating is pretty much having a lack of respect for your significant other. Okay. And that meaning just doing anything that may be disrespectful, that may be conniving, that may not, that you won't, that's untrue.
Okay.
I think that cheating has to do with the breach of a either written or unwritten contract, right? So in marriage, you take vows. If you break those vows, you're cheating. If you are dating and you say we're exclusive, and then you go and are doing things that don't belong in an exclusive relationship, you're cheating on that agreement that you made. It's breaking the promise.
I would say that if you are emotionally and physically invested with somebody and you have to do things and hide them, then whatever that is cheating.
Good answer, guys. Anyone else?
I think cheating is a bad decision because it's a man's or woman's lack of insecurity in themselves to make the dumb decision because they feel something they lack something in that partner or their wife or the significant other. And I think that cheating is a common source of selfishness for the man or the woman because they lacking that want for the other person. They can't be upfront of that person they with at the beginning. So if you feel you're going to cheat, what's the point of being in a relationship with that person? You're going to use them or use them for whatever they need.
So I have a follow-up question. Many people have the same debate over flirting. If you're flirting, is that cheating? Because sometimes some people may flirt a little bit more when their significant other is not around. So is flirting cheating, and how do you draw that line?
I personally think flirting is cheating. How would you go about showing someone that you're interested in though? You flirt, right?
Okay. So
being a married man, I could not even imagine my wife flirting with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that type of attention is reserved, in my opinion, only for me and mine for her. So if you go outside of those boundaries, of course that's cheating.
It's levels to this cheating thing, and I believe when it comes to flirting, I'm a flirt. Like growing up, I saw my dad. He interacted with women by flirting, whether you were at 95 or whatever. So when it comes to flirting, I think that you may flirt in front of your significant other based on some people's definitions. However, if you're flirting with certain intentions, I think that's different. If I want to say, yo, you know, your eyebrows on fleek, or you know, those are some nice shoes, that's one thing. But if you're saying that, like, your eyebrows on fleek, them shoes though, can I have your number? That's where we draw the line.
Good point. Anybody else agree that flirting first needs to be defined?
Definitely. I definitely agree with what he said because it's the intention behind the flirt. I know myself personally, I'm a naturally friendly guy. And so when I interact with different females, it may come off as like I'm trying to like talk to you, but I like to have a conversation, and sometimes a little bit more intelligent than most when they say, how you doing? What's your name? Kind of thing. No, you know what I mean? I might ask you, how was your day? You know what I mean? How are you doing? You know what I mean? Excuse me, can I get by? Kind of thing. You know, even just that, even just a simple hi could be interpreted as a flirt. So yeah, we definitely have to define what is flirting.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, how you define flirting will obviously determine whether or not it's cheating, but I think also, in my mind, cheating has to be intentional, right? So some people, depending on their personality type, could be flirting and not even realize it, and then someone will come to them and say, well, why were you flirting with this person? I had no idea. I didn't know I was flirting with this person. And so I don't think we can consider that cheating because, the intent was not to do anything unfaithful or anything like that. So, I think it has to be an intentional breach of an agreement that you made with a significant other.
That's great. You're putting out the signal out there, right? So you have to do a quick send and receive, right? Just to confirm that it was received the way that it was intended. Good point. Good point.
So you kind of mentioned about intent. So, and we talked about flirting. So is failure to disclose the same thing as lying when it comes to certain things? So not disclosing, is that the same thing as lying when it falls into? Oh, yes.
I think it's equivalent with it in the sense that it presents an untruth. Flirting plants the seed. When we talk about intent, we have to, when we talked upstairs, we have to consider the maturity of both human beings in their interaction, but more so the person who's talking,
Withholding information, is that cheating? Is that the question?
Cheating or lying, what is it considered?
Oh, is it lying? I'm sorry. I don't think...
Be honest.
Come on.
My opinion on the matter is no, because if I don't share something with my significant other, I don't look at it as lying, because if I said something that could possibly bring up an argument, and ultimately the plan in a relationship is try to argue as less as possible.
Interesting, right, guys? Well, again, let's hear some more opinions, because obviously, we're talking about. In just one more opinion really quickly, do we agree, do we disagree, fellas, in terms of if I do not present this information, perhaps there's no harm, no foul in that situation, or is it going to increase the likelihood that there's going to be an argument afterwards?
I think that if you withhold information, that means you're hiding something. In relationship, supposed to be real with the person on spending time. You can't hide nothing, there's no secrets. So you can be real with that person all the time, because we hold something, they're gonna find out, so he got a secret, or so they're gonna find out. So you gotta be real with them 100% of the time, no matter what, whether it's good or bad, be real with them 100%.
Well, you know what? I see some guys that want to have a whole lot more to say about this. The guys are leaning forward like, ooh, me. But let's attack all these different perspectives very shortly after we get back. It sounds like being more transparent and having more faith in the relationship is what you should do versus a more fear-centered approach where perhaps I will not for fear of an argument. So when we get back, we'll talk some more about those perspectives.
And just like Donovan said, we'll be right back after this.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
You're watching The Hype, TV for, by, and about young women.
I mean, it hasn't really changed. It matters less, I feel like. Because people are either more forgiving or just it's more of a common thing. So so it's not that big of a deal when it happens.
In that sense, because I feel like people were more black and white back in the day, like cheating was just like, all right, you sleep with somebody else, kiss with somebody else, if you have affection for somebody else. But I feel like that's a natural thing. People were starting to get aware of that.
I think it's been modified to fit different occasions. Not really changed, just modified. Like depending on your moral standard. Why? Because people want to be comfortable with everything. That's what I feel like the world is moving towards, a more comfortable type of, more being too accepting, I guess.
No, cheating is cheating regardless. I mean, people cheat more now because they think, oh, it's a free world, you know, this is 2014, I'm gonna just have fun, I'm not gonna get married, I'm gonna have 1,000 kids, whatever, or I'm gonna have fun. But technically, it's just, you know, my standpoint, the world don't care anymore. The world don't have morals. The world is just empty.
It's as serious as it used to be. Like if, of course, someone found out that you're cheating, you'd get hell for it. But nowadays, people I feel like are more sneaky in some ways. So then that could cause it to be even more serious in the long term of having the affair.
In a way, it did change, but it really didn't. It changed as in people got smarter at doing different things, sneakier, you know, more clever, and that's how it changed.
I would say it's changed because, in like, if you've ever been to the South, they have this thing and they're like, oh, she's talking to someone. So, and that pretty much means that they shouldn't be talking to anyone else. They should just be talking to this person, and then they get in a relationship. And apparently, if you talk to two people or something, that's cheating. I feel like they've kept that. But like in the northern area, it's like if you're talking to more than one guy, it really doesn't matter.
I think so.
Yeah, probably. I feel like relationships in general has like changed over the years. Like no one comes out and is like, and wants to take you on a date, you know. The internet and stuff is pretty much like how people hook up these days. It's like romance and all that, it's all done.
Welcome back. Now, if you're joining us at home, school, or wherever, you can join in on the conversation by posting your comments online. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and then post your comments to the question today's, who cheats more, men or women? So let's get to some of these hashtags. So Watts says, who cheats more, men or women? That's simple, both, with a crazy emoji face. Okay. Next, who cheats more? Men cheat more than women. However, if flirting is considered cheating, then women are more the bigger culprits, and that's Ass Catchman. And another one said, I believe women cheat more than men, 100% fist power. Okay, you guys have some strong opinions. So we kind of left on a good note. So
I have a question, or a question that has been posed. Can men be 100% faithful in a relationship?
Yes, can women?
I'm not allowed to respond.
I think men's, and this is not for every man, but when it comes to being 100% in a relationship for a man, it's a give and take type of thing. I'm not going to show you all of me. I'm not going to put all of me out there if you're not putting all of you out there. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
I would say that it's about maturity, and once a man reaches that level of maturity, absolutely.
I think a man can be 100%. I think it's possible. You know, a lot of times, our society put men as unfaithful. You know, but it's faithfulness in all as men. You know, but it all comes from childhood, teenhood, from teenhood to your 20s. That will that will separate whether or not, you know, whether you'll be faithful towards a woman, whether you'll be honest to the woman, you know, or whether you'll be, you know, more transparent towards her. So to me, that's my thought on that. So
good answers, guys. Do you guys feel that, you know, you mentioned the give me this and I'll give you that kind of, do you guys agree with the contract versus covenant approach to relationships when it comes down to, and just to break that down a little bit in terms of a contract, the quid pro quo, this for that, qualified, that you deserve more of me kind of situation versus a covenant, which is I love you and therefore because I love you, you get 100% up front, game over. What do you guys think about that?
I think personally it has to be 100% up front. Of course it's a contract, a covenant. You know, anything worth anything, you're going to have an agreement. I think the most important thing is to sit down and define what a relationship is. You know, how do we go about doing this thing? The issue with most of us is we don't do that beforehand. That comes after the fact, you know, and then you have feelings being hurt, people being cheated on. But I might have not thought that I was cheating on you. You know, I may not have known that we were exclusive because we didn't define it. You know?
Right. So cheating, flirting, whether it's a contract situation or a covenant, which is a higher level kind of contract, it's about the small print, right? The definitions for every term, right?
Right.
You guys agree?
No, absolutely. I completely agree. I think you have to set the definition ahead of time. You need to communicate before and during and after. In any situation, if you're coming into a relationship, I think you have to bring that honesty and trust. If you're even thinking about not saying something, chances are there's an issue already.
Mm-hmm.
And if
Good
there's
point.
that, if it's not even coming into your head, and it's like maybe I shouldn't say something because I don't want to be in an argument. Why are you even in this relationship if you can't communicate what's going on? If you're even thinking about yourself more selfishly than trying to put somebody else ahead of you, I think a relationship means that you kind of put somebody else ahead of yourself. You're thinking of somebody else way more than yourself. And I think you need to take other people's feelings into consideration because I don't believe in divorce. Like when I'm getting married, that's it. That's all I got. And I would hope that person who I be with at the end of the road would think the same thing. So.
Good. All in. Okay, guys. Any other?
Took the words right out of my mouth.
I just wanted to say, to add on to that, I think that in the beginning, the contract is more important, and then later, the covenant is important because you have to set the foundation. Because if we agree to be exclusive, or whether we're going to say we're just dating, we're just kicking it, or whatever the case may be, we need to be on the same page. Because if you're not, and you think we're being exclusive, but I don't think we are, that messes up the foundation. So even if you had the best intentions, once you get to the point where you actually love and trust somebody, because you can't get that far unless you have the right foundation, I think it may be too late. The trust may be lost because you broke the contract that was never really official. You didn't read the fine print.
Okay, I think that's a good way to segue into our next question. So breaking the fine print. So what about if you're in a relationship with someone and she cheats on you? Do you guys feel like you can move on with that relationship and mend that relationship if a female cheats on you? Because I've heard a lot of things. Oh, don't get me started. Because I've heard a lot of things about this, and I know men take it very personally when a woman cheats on them. So how do you guys feel about that? Please let me know.
Fellas. I saw everybody
Let me
lean
know.
back. Everybody leaned back. Like we practiced that. Everybody was like 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's.
Well, personally, I think you shouldn't take it personal. Well, actually, scratch that. You should take it personal. Because, sometimes when a woman, I think if anybody cheats, it's because there's something wrong. You don't just cheat because, you don't get in a relationship to cheat. You want to be in a relationship with that person because you like them, you're in love with them, or you care about them. And then down the line, something's missing or something moves out of place, and then you start straying away to somebody else that fulfills that hole they took away. So, yes, take it personal. It should be a problem. I think it's for both sides, not just if a man cheats on a woman, just as a woman would cheat on a man. There should always be why. What's wrong? What did I do?
Tying the previous question into this question, we can separate the definition of contract and covenant if we want, but at the end of the day, it's about integrity. And if you're not being honest and being faithful to whether it's a contract or a covenant, I think that is what's problematic. And when it comes to the cheating, it's that trust issue. It's like if you had a drink and then somebody slipped something in your drink that shouldn't have been there, that's adultery. Your drink has been adulterated. I don't want orange juice with chocolate milk in it. Get the chocolate milk out of my orange juice. The covenant, it's supposed to be me and you. Don't bring a third party in there that does not belong, because you have now convoluted the purity of what was supposed to be. I don't want what this has become because you brought something into it. I want what it was supposed to be. So yeah, I think it does mess that up.
Well, I would say that I don't know about the guys here, but I've never had anybody that I was in a relationship with that I actually knew that they were cheating or heard any third party tell me that they were. So, but even if I did, I know me personally, I would have to take a look at myself. If this was a serious relationship and the person that I loved cheated on me and I found out for whatever reason, I mean, I would take a look at myself to be like, oh man, what did I do? I would do that first. And then second would come up the circumstances that would have led, me to come up with the conclusions on why I feel as though I may have been unfaithful in this particular area and that particular area, or was it this? I would start thinking about me. I wouldn't necessarily always first look at that. Not to say that I wouldn't look at her, because I definitely would to a certain extent, but I wouldn't automatically think that at first. That's just my opinion.
So as you can see, there's an exceptional, I don't even want to call you guys a group of guys. You guys are actors right now. We're not going to talk about it. Okay? Everybody's being all kumbaya about this, and I love this. And this should be, again, but this after school special approach that these guys are taking, we appreciate it. And when we come back, we'll have some other questions. And you guys are on great behavior guys. So I'm just going to, all right?
Yes,
Go ahead,
and we'll
Courtney.
be right back after this.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness. I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. You get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
We would like to thank our DJ 007, and our special guest hosts, Dijanaba and Donovan. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you'd like to intern with us, be in the studio audience show, be a guest host, or submit original music for the show, please visit our website, thehypetvshow.com. And I'm Courtney Poyam, and for Vanessa and the whole Hype team, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good looking now, G.
You're very precious. Please tell me what's your name. You're a precious gem and God's to blame. No, I'm not trying to spit the game, cause it's your soul I'm trying to claim. You probably never heard of this. A love affair without a kiss. All the diamonds in the world could never amount to your value.